I'm Ella, and I'm an SEO Outreach Exec at Tug Agency. Welcome to Grad Chat. I'm with Maria.
Hiya, I'm Maria. I'm also work in SEO, but I'm an outreach manager at Tug Agency. So I'm basically Ella's boss.
So, what did you study at university?
I studied politics and sociology. So basically all kinds of topics within equality, how people behave in society, and also international relations, and topics like that.
Nice. So, what do you do at Tug?
Basically what I do at Tug, I'm an outreach manager. So we mainly do link building. So we build links to a lot of our client sites in different ways. We do a lot of outreach, contact a lot of different people to create relationships and try and drive those links to websites. And we also do a lot of creative things in order to build links.
Did you always know what you wanted to do for a career?
No, I think as most people, I was quite confused when I got out of university. Basically, chose my degree because it was topics that I was interested in. But I knew I wanted to do something creative. I knew marketing is a quite normal industry to go into when you've done sociology. It has to do with people, behavior, and so on. And kind of just happened to end up in marketing and SEO. As my first role was for a Swedish role here in England, and I am Swedish, so ended up there and learned a lot about SEO and realized that was something I was really interested in.
Nice. So, when did you start at Tug? When was this your first?
I've been here for a while now, so I started July 2019. So I would say a bit more than 1.5 years now. So yeah.
Cool. What have you learned working for Tug specifically?
I would say quite a lot. One of the big things is we work with so many different clients. I thought I was good at multitasking before I started Tug, but it's a completely different level. Starting here, you have to keep up with what different clients are doing. You do different strategies, different creative ideas depending on what client you're working with, what industry you're working with. So it's definitely taught me to learn how to multitask and keep on top of things. Also do a lot of client facing, talk a lot with clients, present new ideas and strategies, which is a lot of fun. You learn about very different industries, as I work from car sharing clients to insurance companies. I've definitely learned a lot about different topics in industry while working here.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. So you said that when you left university, you started in a Swedish role. Was this also in marketing? And have you done anything else other than SEO before this job?
Yes, I started an SEO role. So it basically focused on international link building, especially for the Scandinavian market. That's where I kind of started to get interested and learn about SEO. I didn't know much about it before I started. In those ways, like the European market is a bit different, especially the Scandi one. So there's a lot of paid link building there, which is quite different from what we do here at Tug. So it was something that was really interesting. I was able to be creative and learn a bit about SEO. But when starting in this role at Tug, it's been a bit different as we have to be a bit more creative as we're not paying for links. So that's been a bit different.
Yeah, definitely. So I think, like you said before, the range of clients that we have at Tug is one of the main reasons that it's such a great company to work for. Which clients do you work for specifically?
It can differ depending on, like, clients nowadays get more. Obviously, link building has been something that been around in SEO for a long time. But it's constantly developed, and clients realize that this is something that we really need to do to ensure that the site is performing well. So it's getting more and more interested. So I get to work with lots. At the moment, I work with a car sharing company. I work with a comparison site a lot. That is one of our big campaigns. So it's really interesting to dig deep into that. I also work with blockchain clients, all kinds of different clients really. So it can really differ from month to month. And then obviously I have a few that I constantly work with. And
yeah, I think it's great because it means that not only do we learn loads about SEO, but we also have to learn loads about all of these different industries. And who would have thought you'd be a blockchain expert?
Exactly, and things you never thought you would ever be able to understand. We work with a cybersecurity client as well, which is very interesting, and you have to dig deep into that, learn about different trends and so on. And you definitely have to be an expert in a lot of different topics, and that's what makes it so much fun as well.
Yeah, exactly. So speaking of that, what's a really great campaign that you've worked on recently?
I would say we obviously work with lots of different campaigns, all of them quite interesting, but I would say that Competitor Market is one of our big clients that we work really close with, a comparison site, and we work a lot with them. So we got to create a lot of new different ideas to build links, because it's a big client, and we obviously want to make sure that we're building lots of good and creative links. So we're working a lot close with them to make sure that we dig deep and see what kind of products do we want to focus on, and what sites can we go after. And what's so great about that is that we can go quite niche and come up with lots of new different sites to go after that you never ever expect you could go after. And that's actually really relevant to them. I found that quite a lot of fun, because we had the opportunity to develop our own ideas and brainstorm and send them through to our client to approve. So I would say that's one of the big campaigns right now that I enjoy working on.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like the research behind those kind of campaigns, you wouldn't ever expect it to be that much, but it can come with such great results at the end. So yeah, it's been really fun.
Exactly.
What's your advice for grads entering the workplace at the moment?
I would say it's so easy to stress about where you end up, and I think like a lot of people want to end up in such extraordinary places, and there's these big company names that people are looking for, like grad schemes and so on. But I think what I experience is, like, I work with medium-sized agencies and so on. I think that's where you learn a lot. Like, take the opportunity to just learn wherever you are. You're going to work for so long, so you're going to have such long time to figure out what you actually enjoy. So like your first job, it's just for you to kind of realize, do I like working in a team? Do I like taking responsibilities? Do I like being part of decision making? Like, there's so much things, like basic things to learn in your first job. And I think I would rather advise you to just make the most of that, rather than focusing on these big company names where you would get this fancy job. You have so much time to explore and grow in your career. So just make the most of just learning what a basic day-to-day work is, and not stress too much, because things will work out.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think there's so much pressure on grads when they first come out of university, but they're basically just starting, so you kind of have to start. Everyone has to start somewhere, and it's good to lower, not shoot for the stars.
Exactly.
So you said about your day to day. What would be a typical day in your first role when you first joined Tug?
When I first joined Tug, I've obviously been working in SEO a bit before that and so on, but Tug is a lot more creative space. And since we don't pay for links, it's a lot more about being particular what sites you find and research. So a lot of my days were just trying to figure out how to research for relevant sites for clients, what actually is a good site, and figuring out just how link building works in Tug for different clients. So that was like the basic, just understanding how we work with link building in SEO in Tug. So a lot of research. I got to understand more how to approach websites, what websites maybe prefer calling, and what websites prefer emails. So a lot was outreach. And from the start also, I would say I didn't completely dig deep into like the technical part of SEO in my job before Tug, and that was something I got to do in my role from the beginning of Tug. Yeah.
Nice. That's really interesting. So, Anne, one last question. What is the next big thing?
The next big thing, I would say like Tug is more and more expanding and exploring digital PR and want to implement this more and more for clients. That's definitely a big thing and something we're exploring a lot. Tug has done a research piece ourselves, working with PR agency. So we're doing a lot of outreach for that and utilizing digital PR outreach. And trying to promote the story we've been working on. So that's a really big thing for us. And the next step is just expanding more within link building and link building tactics.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think digital PR is going to be really exciting in the next few years.
And we're going to work together on that. So that will be great.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Maria. That was really interesting to talk to you about how you started and what advice you have for graduates. So thank you.
And thank you for interviewing me.